Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. My name is Brad Micklin. I'm the attorney and managing member of the Micklin Law Group, which is a law firm concentrated in men's and fathers' rights in divorce, custody, and family law matters, with offices in Nutley and Montclair, New Jersey. Today is my how-to series. I try to do once a week, which, by the way, today's date is the 27th of January, 2020. That's important because, as I always point out, the laws change sometimes radically, like we'll see today, actually. And you need to make sure that the video information you're getting is still currently up to date with the law. So if you're watching on a different date or time, things may have changed. This is also New Jersey specific. Many of my videos, I say that, but I also put a caveat that usually I'm giving more general information, but this is state specific. So if you are watching outside of New Jersey, it unfortunately probably does not apply to you. Today, my how-to series is how to understand the change in the laws about in and out of state relocation. And I say in both, the change that I'm going to talk about had occurred more with in-state as opposed to out-of-state. But I covered them both because, one, the relocation out-of-state has been changed in the last couple of years. There is a lot of information out there about it, and the understanding is kind of common knowledge now, but I figured it's good to cover it there anyway. And then, so I'll talk about moving out-of-state first and then moving in-state, both past and present status of the law. So to move out-of-state, under the recent Bisbing case, required that the best interest of the child should be demonstrated at a trial. Meaning, if you were the custodial parent moving your child out of New Jersey, you had to file a motion to get permission. You had to show at what's called a plenary trial, which is a full but complete trial, that it's in your child's best interest to be moved to this new location, which is a very challenging standard because it's not good or better, but best. So you need to show that the new address, the new state or country, is in the child's best interest as opposed to being in New Jersey. Very challenging. It has historically had been a lot easier up until a couple of years ago, where all you needed to show in a nutshell was a good faith reason and that it was not going to hurt the child. The Bisbing case changed that, so in order to move out of state, you have to show it's in the child's best interest. Now, in-state was always very different. In-state always had a sort of irony to it, depending on where you lived in New Jersey, because you can be in North Jersey, for instance, and want to move 15 minutes into New York City, and that's out of state. You needed a motion and a trial, but you can move 3 hours to Camden County, and there's almost no restriction whatsoever. The law used to be for in-state relocation, that, like I said, you didn't need any permission to move anywhere inside of New Jersey, but some cases had suggested that it could be a substantial change in circumstances, which would allow a review of parenting time, maybe even a review of custody. That was changed in 2019 with a case AJ versus RJ. And the reason that they're letters is because usually it's children that are involved, and they don't use the full name to protect the children. So that case made a change in both the standard and the procedure to move in-state. So again, before it was, you could move inside the state anywhere, and it may have been considered a change of circumstances that you could review parenting time and maybe custody. Now, they said, it still must be proven on the best interest standard. However, the non-custodial parent is the one that has to file the motion now. So if you are the non-custodial parent, let's say you're the father and the mother has primary custody, just for example purposes, and mom is moving 3 hours to Camden County, you have to file a motion saying that it's in the best interest of your child to remain in North Jersey where you are. So the standard is now the same as moving out of state. It's a best interest standard. The difference is who needs to file the motion. If it's an out-of-state relocation or out of country, it's the custodial parent's burden to file the motion and prove it's in the best interest. If it's an in-state relocation, it's the non-custodial parent's obligation to file the motion and to prove it's in the child's best interest to stay in New Jersey. It's a huge change, and it's one that I think has been a long time coming because in New Jersey, again, you could move a great distance and disrupt a child's life and parenting time, school district, medical appointments and doctors, and there was nothing that restrained it. And I had always thought that that was inappropriate both for the non-custodial parent, who historically were fathers, that needed a greater recognition. We see in the progression This means after the Bisbee case changing relocation out of New Jersey, this case now in 2019 changing to in-state relocation sends an overall message that moving with a child is disfavored, where historically it was very easy. Now it's going to be much more challenging. And I think it's a recognition that both parents need to be in a child's life. And that's what I want you to take from this, aside from the new standard for in-state relocation. I hope the information helps you. If it does, please give a like and share the video so that others get to see it. You can subscribe so you get noticed when I go online, and you can also send any comments or questions that you have regarding this material or something you would like me to cover in the future. Thanks for tuning in, and I will be back hopefully tomorrow, probably around the same time, like 4 o'clock.